UN names Nigeria, Mali among 16 hunger crisis hotspots. NEMA receives 180 stranded Nigerians from Libya. Plateau farmers, herders limit activities to homes over fear of attacks. Away from Nigeria, 6 people die in a stampede during a military recruitment event in Ghana. Hello, good evening and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. Two UN food agencies on Wednesday warned that millions more people around the globe could face famine, with funding shortfalls worsening already dire conditions. A joint report from the Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Food Programme said conflict and violence were driving acute food insecurity in the majority of the countries identified as risk. The Rome-based agencies listed Haiti, Mali, Palestine, South Sudan, Sudan, and Yemen as the worst, where populations face an imminent risk of catastrophic hunger. Also classified as a very high concern were Afghanistan, a Democratic Republic of the Congo, Myanmar, Nigeria, Somalia, and Syria, with Burkina Faso, Chad, Kenya, and the situation of the Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh also making the list. Funding for humanitarian relief was falling dangerously short, the report stated, noting that only $10.5 billion had been received out of the required $29 billion to assist those at risk. WFP said that due to funding cuts, it had reduced assistance for refugees and displaced people while suspending school feeding programs in some countries. The National Emergency Management Agency, Lagos Operations Office, in collaboration with key stakeholders, has received 180 vulnerable Nigerian returnees from Libya. According to a statement released on Wednesday, the returnees included 147 adults made up of 45 males and 102 females, 19 children, and 14 infants. 46 of the returnees were identified with medical conditions and were immediately attended to by health officials. In line with the federal government's commitment to safe and dignified repatriation, the returnees were provided with food, potable water, medical care, ambulance services, luggage handling, logistics support, and counseling. Kaduna State Governor Obasani has called for the urgent establishment of state police, describing it as essential to Nigeria's fight against insecurity. He also noted that regional security outfits like Amotekun in the southwest serve only as temporary stopgap measures. Sani spoke in Lagos on Tuesday at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs Distinguished Lecture Series titled The Role of State Governments in Overcoming Insecurity in Nigeria. Sani, who delivered the lecture, stressed that governors must be constitutionally empowered to lead security efforts. He highlighted the inadequacy of national security personnel, noting that Nigeria has fewer than 400,000 police officers and less than 250,000 military personnel to serve over 230 million people. Meanwhile, Kebbi State Governor Dr. Nasir Idris renewed his call for stronger collaboration among security agencies, analysts, and the media in combating banditry. Speaking at the Arewa Media Security Summit in Birnin Kebbi on Monday, Idris highlighted the state's investment in security operations, community engagement, and humanitarian recovery initiatives that have enabled the resettlement of several displaced communities. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria for the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory, Reverend Joseph Hayab, has said that the U.S. President Donald Trump's warning to Nigeria over the killings of Christians was misrepresented. Speaking on Wednesday, Hayab said Trump did not threaten to invade Nigeria, but instead urged the federal government to take decisive action against terrorists targeting Christians. According to the cleric, acknowledging the reality of attacks against Christians is a first step toward national healing. He urged that instead of dismissing victims' pain, government officials should engage in honest dialogue about the crisis. Hayab noted that mutual understanding and empathy are essential for restoring trust among Nigerians. The Department of State Services, DSS, has filed a 6-count charge at the Federal High Court in Abuja against 27-year-old innocent Chukwuemeka Kume for allegedly calling for a military takeover and publishing inciting material on social media. The charges filed by DSS counsel A.M. Elami accuse Kume, residing at Omusayo Layout, Oyigbo local government area of Rivers State, of committing the offenses in October 2025. According to the agency, his alleged actions amount to offenses contrary and punishable under sections 46, subsection A and 59 of the Criminal Code Act. The DSS said the suspect would be arraigned before the end of the week. Moving on to more stories, farmers and herders in Riyom, Birkin Ladi, Bokos, Mungu, and Basa local government areas of Plateau State have abandoned their farmlands following incessant attacks. To avoid being targeted by gunmen, many have restricted their daily activities to their homes. Trust TV's Ado Musa visited some of the affected communities and reports on their struggles and rising insecurity. The report.
Attacks, killings, and destruction of property have become common occurrences across many parts of Plateau State. Farmlands are being destroyed and cattle killed, with both farmers and herders trading blame for the recurring violence. Fearing for their safety, many residents have been forced to remain indoors, abandoning their means of livelihood. The acting traditional ruler of Rim community, Riom local government area of the state, Dadon Zorong, describes the situation as deeply worrisome, saying farmers can no longer cultivate freely. It has become very difficult for us to farm and get the food we eat. We can't go to our usual farmlands for fear of being attacked or killed. We now cultivate only around our houses, where space is limited. And that means we can't grow enough food. Life has become very difficult for us. Similarly, Yawu Idris, the leader of the Fulani community in Marabandari, Basa local government area of the state, laments that grazing has also become a dangerous task. As you can see, it is past noon and our cattle are still at home because it is not safe to graze far away. We constantly worry about attacks, so we only allow them to graze close to our houses. There is always danger where they go. Despite their frustration, the community say they still believe peace can return if the government takes decisive action to address the insecurity.
Maybe if the government will intervene and they will do justice, he look at the Fulanis, he look at us as his own people, then I think we can come to compromise and live in peace. But if the government did not intervene between us and the Fulanis, it's going to be very hard for us to compromise and live in peace.
I am calling on all herders within and outside this area to embrace peace. When there is conflict, we are the most affected because we have families and cattle. Herders and farmers must always promote peace and avoid taking law into their own hands. Any incident should be reported to the security agencies for proper action. According to the fact-finding committee set up in May 2025, chaired by retired Major General Nicholas Rogers, about 11,749 people have lost their lives in Plateau State between 2001 and 2025. The committee also revealed that no fewer than 240 communities have been attacked during the same period. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru, has assured that the ministry and the military high command will continue to protect every officer carrying out lawful duties. Badaru gave the assurance while responding to questions from defense correspondents during a press briefing on the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Celebration at the National Defense College, Abuja.
I will always protect officers and non-police. So we are looking into and be rest assured before any officer and non-police be protected. I will not doing his job. He's doing his job very well. The ministry and the armed forces I will always protect officers and non-police. So we are looking into this and be rest assured before any officer and non-police be protected. I will not doing his job. He's doing his job very well.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has launched a joint investigation with the United States Drug Enforcement Administration and the United Kingdom National Crime Agency to identify those behind the importation of 1,000 kilograms of cocaine valued at over $235 million, about 338 billion naira. The shipment was intercepted at the PTML terminal of the Tinkan Island Port, Lagos. According to a statement on Tuesday by NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi, operators at the PTML terminal discovered the drug-laden consignment inside an empty container and alerted port stakeholders, including the NDLEA and the Nigeria Customs Service, leading to a joint inspection. Babafemi said field tests conducted by NDLEA officers confirmed the substance to be cocaine, after which the shipment was taken into the agency's custody on Tuesday, November 11, 2025. He said the NDLEA is working with the United States Drug Enforcement Administration and the United Kingdom National Crime Agency to unravel the cartel behind the importation of 1,000 kilograms of cocaine recovered from a container at the PTML terminal of Tinkan Island Port in Lagos. Babafemi noted that the cocaine, estimated at over $235 million, about 338 billion naira, represents the largest single seizure of the substance at the Tinkan port. The Nigeria Guild of Editors (NGE) has raised the alarm that the present economic realities in the country have put the media in distress. The Guild also called for the repeal of laws that inhibit press freedom. The president of the NGE, Eze Anaba, stated these in his welcome address at the All Nigeria Editors Conference with the theme Democracy, Governance and National Cohesion, the Role of Editors, held at the State House Conference Hall, Abuja. He lamented that the economic situation in the country has forced some media houses to shut down, while some that struggle to operate cannot pay workers' salaries. This, he said, has contributed to the increase in unemployment as it sends the workers in such media houses to the labor market. He solicited legislative and executive assistance to make the media viable, as well as corporate tax relief for about 10 years. And now in business, telecommunications operators saw their total earnings rise by 44.7% to 7.67 trillion naira in 2024 compared to 5.30 trillion naira in 2023. This 44.7% was boosted by increased demand for data services, higher subscription rates, and expanded enterprise solutions, which helped operators cushion the effects of rising operational costs. This is according to the 2024 Subscribers Network Performance Report released by the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) Wednesday. Amid the rise in revenue for the year, the operators also saw a surge in their operating expenses, which jumped by 85% from 3.16 trillion naira in 2023 to 5.85 trillion naira a year after. NCC in the 79-page document prepared by the Policy, Competition and Economic Analysis Department said right-of-way charges alongside a surge in inflation, foreign exchange pressures, and rising energy costs were responsible for the 5.85 trillion naira OPEX. Away from Nigeria, at least 6 people have died and several others injured following a stampede during a military recruitment exercise at the Wike Sports Stadium in Accra, Ghana. The Ghana Armed Forces, in a statement signed by its Acting Director General of Public Relations, Colonel Evelyn Asamoah, confirmed that the tragic incident occurred on Wednesday morning before the commencement of the 2025-2026 recruitment screening. According to the statement, the stampede broke out when a large crowd of applicants breached security protocols and forced their way into the stadium ahead of the scheduled screening. Videos shared on social media showed long queues stretching across nearby streets, with hundreds of applicants reportedly arriving as early as 2 a.m. to secure a place in line. Colonel Asamoah said medical teams had been deployed to attend to the injured, while investigations were underway to determine the cause of the breach and prevent a recurrence. And now in sports, Super Eagles captain William Troost-Ekong has team is demanding bonus ahead of Thursday's 2026 FIFA World Cup playoff against Gabon. In a statement posted on X, Ekong clarified that the players are only asking for payment of outstanding bonuses and allowances owed to both current and former team members since 2019. He explained that the idea of a special playoff bonus originated from the Nigeria Football Federation, not the players before their arrival in Morocco. According to team sources, the squad's demand is limited to a fair settlement of the long-standing debt, not an increase in match bonuses. Meanwhile, all 24 invited players, including Maduka Okoye, Victor Osimhen, and Alhassan Yusuf, are now in camp at Rabat as preparations intensify for Thursday's crucial clash against Gabon. Head coach Eric Chell is reportedly owed 2 months' salary, but has yet to comment publicly on the issue. And that's a wrap on news updates. Do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms for more programs, news, and documentaries. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. Thank you for watching.